Welcome to Love in Life, a guide to a positive mindset. My aim is to show you that the key to a happier and more positive mind is to love the life you have. We will look at tips and tools you can use to improve your mindset, and the best thing is, we'll all be on this journey together. Wow. What a couple of days. Welcome back to Love in Life, where I've been super duper busy. I'm coming to you somewhat late today because I'm so tired. Last night I had to go and pick Alfie up at about 11 o'clock I got in because he'd been to a theatre trip with school. So that, as you know, is well past my bedtime. The thing I want to talk to you about tonight is today. This is how tired I am. It's not the night. It's actually lunchtime on Wednesday. The thing I want to talk to you about today is divine timing and messages from the universe or whoever you receive your messages from, and how these two things link together. Because, you know, whenever I'm late in delivering my podcast, I always apologise. But actually, the thing that I'm talking about today, which is divine timing, everything happens at the right time or when it's meant to happen. I shouldn't apologise because I go with my intuition. I follow my instincts, and the message is meant to get out when it's meant to get out. Now, the thing that prompted me to want to talk about this subject initially was on Saturday when we did our goal setting workshop. Something happened and it was just at such a funny time. Okay, how it works is one of the things I get you to do is reflect on lots of different areas of your life. I give you a list of the different areas that I feel are important in our lives. And what we do is we rate those different areas of our lives, we rate them out of 10. And the areas that we focus on are the different areas that I believe give us fulfillment. Anyway, so one of the areas that I get you to look at is possessions. And if you take part in the course, then you will know that possessions is one of the hardest things for women to think about. And this isn't what I want to talk about today, but it is quite relevant. It's one of the things that women find difficult, not all women, obviously, but on the whole, women find it difficult to say what they want because they feel guilt. They feel that we've been brought up to believe that we should put others first. So we feel icky saying what we want. So it's really hard to decide on what possessions you want, not just possessions you need. Anyway, so we were talking about this in the workshop. And I was saying, because I do the workshop along in real time as well. And I was saying, one of the possessions that I want to put down is a laptop. And, you know, we were talking about this and I was saying, should a laptop be down as a possession that I want? Because it's more a possession that I need because I need it for work. So maybe I won't put that down. And in that exact moment, I had a message flash up on my laptop because I was delivering the workshop from a laptop. I had a message flash up saying, warning, plug your laptop in, otherwise because the battery's running low. Now, I always have to have my laptop plugged in anyway. It was already plugged in. Yet for some reason, this message flashed up and it was threatening. It was basically threatening to close down on me. And that is what happens if there's, if for some reason the connection fails and the battery isn't actually charging and it cuts out. This has happened to me on Zoom calls. It's happened to me in practice belief coding sessions. Thankfully, never any paid belief coding sessions. So obviously, as you can imagine, the the actual timing of this message to flash up as I was having the conversation about possessions and should it be things that we want or should it be things that we need. And I think the message was something that I really needed to listen to at that very, very moment in time. So at the end of the workshop, I went downstairs to Craig and I told him what happened, and he was like, right, let's go and get you a bloody laptop. I've been resisting buying a laptop now for probably about a year. And the reason I keep giving is that I want to make sure that I can buy my own laptop from my own money that I've earned from the business that I've now set up, which is obviously all revolving around coaching and belief coding. So, I have actually got the money sat in my bank account, but then, different things pop up like, well, I need that money for this, that, and the other. And every time that comes up, I'm talking myself out of buying myself a laptop. Now, is that self-sabotage? I don't know. Again, that is a completely different subject. But the messaging, the divine timing of the message that came through to me, I had to act upon it. And this is something that, unless you are really, really aware of the messages that come through to you, we often miss messages that come through to us, which means we aren't always acting upon the messages that come through to us in the time that's going to be most beneficial to us. Does that make sense? And I was telling my friend about this after it happened, and I was like, I've been resisting buying a laptop for so long. Why do we do this to ourselves? And she said to me, because of divine timing, you need to wait till the time's right. But actually, I don't agree with that. Like, I do believe in divine timing. I absolutely do. But I also believe that I know I've resisted buying a laptop for quite some time now. I have resisted that. I've self-sabotaged that. And there's part of me, I guess, upon reflection, there's part of me that can probably say that the reason why I've resisted buying a laptop is because that means that when I've got my laptop and I know I can rely on my laptop and I can book as many sessions as I want, shit starts getting real. At the moment, I've always got the excuse of I can be a bit more flexible on how many sessions I book in, blah, 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 blah. But actually, this is what I want. I want to be a fully booked coach. And in order to be a fully booked coach, I need a reliable, decent laptop. So just be aware of, there was no getting away from that. The absolute comedy timing of that message to come through. There was absolutely no denying that. Just like when I broke my hand, there was no getting away from the fact that I had to listen to that message. How many messages tried coming through to me before that I missed? And it really does take a really open and honest mind to be able to notice the messages that come through to us. Everyday life gets in the way, and we tell ourselves that some things that happen, the timing of some things that happen, is just coincidence. But I don't believe in coincidences. I believe in messages from the universe, messages from your spirit guides, messages from God. Whoever you believe sends you messages. And those messages will keep coming through and keep coming through. They'll keep getting louder and louder and louder. And bam, you've got no choice but to listen to those messages. Now, there is a part of me that thinks, we notice those messages, we listen to those messages when the time is right. I mean, we'll never know the answer, will we? If we were to listen to messages sooner, would that make life flow easier for us because we've listened to the messages, we've acted upon what we need to act upon? We'll never know. So you've just got to go with it, to be honest. But just look out for those little subtle signs that maybe answer a question that you've got, whether you've said that question out loud or not, whether you've had that question in your head. Just maybe look out for those little subtle signs and messages. So that was my laptop. The other thing that happened last week was, the Moldavite ring that I was looking for a Moldavite ring for ages, months and months and months. And then I believe it was last April that I finally found it. And obviously I've been wearing it every single day ever since. And it was literally a week or two after I found the Moldavite ring that belief coding came into my life. Like, again, there was things about belief coding that I was resisting for a little while, but it was after I got my Moldavite ring that I really started listening to the messages of what belief coding was saying and realizing that it was actually for me, and signed up to it. As you know, like, completely put my life on hold to get through my training and my accreditation. And it's literally been my life since May. So what was my point going to be? Oh, yeah. So obviously that was, I believe, Moldavite is supposed to speed up your manifestations. So I believe that belief coding was meant to come into my life, and the Moldavite that I was wearing helped speed up that process of it coming into my life. So anyway, fast forward to then last week, and I was putting washing out on the line, and this Moldavite ring has it's got this tiny little stone of Moldavite in the middle, but the ring itself is a little bit flimsy, and it's actually been broken for a while, and I've just been pushing it into place, like molding it into place as it stays on my finger. And I was putting washing out on the line last week, and it got caught on the washing line, and the actual crystal part of the ring flung off. So the ring has completely broken. The metal part of the ring was still on my finger, but the crystal part of the ring had flown off. It flung off, and God knows where it's gone. It's in the garden. It must be in the garden somewhere. I expect a bloody magpie has now come and picked it up. But this is something that I could have got really upset about, because obviously I was looking for that Moldavite ring for so long, and I absolutely loved it. Like, it felt good on my finger. It felt right on my finger. But literally, as soon as it happened, I didn't get upset. I was like, I wonder if it's done its job now. I wonder if the Moldavite has done what it needs to do. It sent me what it needed to send me, and it's now time to say goodbye to it. There's no more, everything else is maybe now in my hands. And do you know what? I was really proud of myself for reacting this way about it, because, we get really attached to these items, especially if we've been looking for it for a long time. We get really attached to these items, and if they go missing, if we lose them, or if they get broken, we can get really upset about it. But I'm really proud of how I reflected straight away and thought, do you know what? It was almost like my inner self, my higher self, rose above me and could see exactly what needed to happen. It was like I was looking at it from a higher perspective. And I guess that is a sign that I am becoming more connected with my higher self, which is exactly my aim. But yeah, that was quite reassuring. So that really comes into messages from the universe as well, in my opinion. Like, not necessarily messages, but work from the universe. Like, was that meant to happen? Like, I believe that everything is meant to happen, and that everything teaches us a lesson. It's the lesson that is meant to happen. Does that make sense? And quite often the experience that we have to learn that lesson, sometimes it can look like, I'm not talking about losing a ring, I'm talking about, horrible things that happen to us. Like, sometimes we can look at these things and they are horrible things, but it's actually the lesson that is meant to come out of those horrible things. It's not so much the experience that it comes to us in. Am I making sense? And if this is resonating with you, then it's probably because you need to hear this particular message at this particular time, because it's not as if I haven't spoken about this subject before. We've talked about divine timing. You've probably seen it 100 times on social media, depending on who you follow. We are supposed to hear certain messages that are made for us at the right time. Sometimes that comes in the form of a voice. Sometimes that comes in the form of experiences. Sometimes that comes in the form of losing things and things breaking. But yeah, you know what I'm saying. And actually, going back to my laptop, funny divine timing. I've just noticed a little fly in my drink. That's not good. It's the problem with having plants everywhere, is all these little stupid flies get everywhere. Anyway, what was I saying? When I decided to go and get a laptop, as I said, I went straight down to Craig and told him what happened, and he was like, do you know what? Let's go and get one right now, because it has been really bugging him that I have been putting off buying one. So we went straight away. We went to Costco, and the laptop that he's been telling me to get, which is a MacBook Air, I think it is. I don't really know. I don't know much about tech. I just listen to what Craig tells me I've got to get. That's what I need. So that's what I get. And it was on offer in I was going to say Tesco then, in Costco. So, maybe it was the right time for me to finally listen to the messages that have been coming through to me, because I got an absolute bargain. And yeah, he's right. It is exactly the right thing for me. And it does mean that I can rely now on a laptop that is not gonna cut out on me. I can carry it around in my bag, like when I go and visit different places, like with Belief Code, and I go up to Manchester quite a lot now, more so than I ever have done before. So these things happen for a reason. They happen at the right time, and you just have to trust that. And I think once you just come to a place where you just think, fuck it, yeah, I just trust that. Like, you don't have to look at the reasons, and you just go with it. You just think, yeah, I trust this. And it's almost like quite reassuring when you're able to let go of having to analyze all the things that are happening all the time. So this is a short one from me today, because as I said, I'm really, really tired. And, messages don't always need to be long. I've said what I need to say, and there we go. But I would love to know your experience of receiving messages. And has there been any comedy timing of messages that have come through to you? Or maybe just look out for them this week and just, trust that the things that are coming to you, the signs that you're receiving, be aware of them and just trust in the message. And let me know what comes through. If you get any messages through, if you are able to take any photos, post them in your stories or send me a message, because I really love to hear your experience of the things that we've talked about. Thank you to the people that joined me on Saturday for the goal setting workshop. And if you've followed me at all this week, I've talked about it quite a lot this week, reflecting about it on my social media. And, it's not necessarily, we weren't necessarily making big life-changing goals. It's not like a businessy goal setting workshop. It's not like that. What we do is we look at different areas of your life that give you fulfillment. So sometimes it can just be making a decision that you're going to commit to something that involves self-care, for example. So the goals that we set, they just add to your overall fulfillment in life in general. It's really humbling. It's really high vibe, and it really does get you to reflect on so many different areas of your life. So if you think, oh, bloody hell, I should have done it, then don't worry. You can still do it. I'm going to put the link up so as you can still buy the course online and do it in your own time. You are more than welcome to send me any questions that you've got about it. If you do decide to do the workshop, you're more than welcome to ask me any questions and I will help you if I can. But I am sure that any questions that have come up would have come up in the workshop anyway when it was being recorded. It's a really good way it's almost like a little mini life coaching session, really. But if you don't feel like you're in a position to have a life coaching session one-to-one, then this is a much more accessible way of doing that. And an added bonus that I put in the workshop as well was, if you have purchased the workshop, then you get half price belief coding sessions from me to address any limiting beliefs that come up from any of the goals that you've set. So if you set a goal and you think, who am I to do that? Who am I to achieve that? Oh, I couldn't possibly achieve that. Usually it's down to self-worth, but we can address that in a belief coding session, which you can have for half price. So there is an added benefit to purchasing the workshop, especially if belief coding is something that intrigues you and you think you'd like to try. Right, I'm off. Have a fab week. Look out for those signs. Follow me on social media. Let me know what signs you notice. And I'll speak to you very soon. Bye.